Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the boxing capital of the world. Well, today's show, we're going to be featuring one of the greatest middleweights of all time. He's in the Virgin Islands, so we're going to do a split screen. And with my co-host here, Shelly Stevens.
Hey, everybody.
Beautiful
Good to
Shelly
see
Stevens.
you.
And you guys know she's a singer with her husband, Wesley. They perform every Saturday night at the Lola's here in Las Vegas. Okay. Anyway, we want to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame induction in Atlantic City, September 26th to the 28th in Las Vegas. In Atlantic City. Okay. I keep thinking Las Vegas. I was just in New York. I just got back from New York the night before last. I was up there for the International Boxing Hall of Fame induction. It was a great event. We had, but here's the event we're going to have in Atlantic City, September 26th to the 28th. And the one night it was in New York City, it was great. You could have Vinny Pazienza got inducted, Randy Gordon, former commissioner and editor for the Ring magazine. And then we had a couple of other great inductees out there. We have the great Felix Trinidad was there. We had a good time. Manny Pacquiao was the star. He was everybody. Kenny Bayless, my former colleague, boxing referee Kenny Bayless, got inducted as well. So it was a great weekend. We did the parade down in Canastota. It was a great parade. Having all the... They said it was like over 25,000, 30,000 people out there watching the parade. It was great. We really enjoyed it. Then for the parade, we had lunch, and then we went for our induction. It was really a great afternoon.
Yeah, you get to hang out with Manny Pacquiao. I think we might have a picture of that one. I think we have a couple of pictures when you were in Conestoga.
Yeah.
That was so amazing.
It was nice.
Oh, my goodness. It was
nice.
Great.
It was nice being there with Manny Pacquiao and Felix Trinidad, Ivan Calderon, Randy Gordon, Jerry Cooney. It was a great event. Anyway, we have our guest today from the Virgin Islands. The Julian, the Hawk Jackson. Welcome, Julian. How you doing, buddy? All right, we got Julian there in Virgin Islands, and Julian is. Can you hear me, Julian? I guess he's a little frozen there.
Yeah.
So he's. But Julian Jackson was one of the great ones, Shelly. Julian had a great record. He had like 53 wins, and Julian, can you hear me now? Okay, Julian.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, Julian, we're telling the folks about how great, you were as a fighter. I had the honor of refereeing you several occasions. And I remember one time I was refereeing your fight with Gerald Graham in Spain. And your eye.
I remember, especially in Maribel, Spain. We couldn't fight in England because of my detached retina. But, the fight was held in Spain.
Right.
And I remember it seemed as if it was just yesterday.
Right.
And you came to me in my corner and said, I'm going to stop this fight if you don't do something because of my eye. And I had an eye injury. I know that because of the eye injury that I had suffered, maybe about 2 years ago, you were concerned. And
your eye,
Graham, he called me a good punch to my eye. And then you said, if you don't do something, I'm going to stop the fight. And that's when I knocked him out.
Exactly. Well, your eye was closed, completely closed, and I already had known that you had detached retina surgery. So my job was the safety of the fighters first. I want to make sure the fighters would take unnecessary punishment.
Serious, man.
So I was a little concerned about it, but you took matters into your own hands, and so if the guy went down, you did your sign like you always do. Like he went down. Right. Then I called you the Hawk.
I felt the shock in my elbow.
Yeah.
And I knew that when I hit him, it was it. There was no no turning back.
Right.
And again, I tell you what, my boxing career was a tremendous career. And the only thing I will do different is maybe change my promoter. That's all I would do differently. Is change my promoter. But other than that, I really enjoyed boxing. Dan King, being with Dan King did a lot for me as well, even though, a lot of people felt that Dan King, did a lot of negative things to athletes. But you know what? I still give God the thanks for allowing me to be working with, a man like him, Dan King.
Right. Well, I know Shelly has a couple of questions she wants to ask you. Her husband is a big Fight fan, and so she has a question she wants to ask you.
Yes, first of all, congratulations on your induction. I'm so excited for you. And my husband, yes, as he said, is a big fan. When he heard that we were going to be talking to you today, he just jumped on YouTube and he was pulling up all your fights. And he's like, I love him. He's so awesome. I can't wait to meet him in September because we're coming to. So it's going to be great to meet you. Yeah. And you're from St. Thomas, correct?
Yes, born and raised here in the Virgin Islands. Actually became a world champion living out of the Virgin Islands.
That's beautiful. My husband and I have been there many times.
Wow, awesome. You know, the sun, the sea, and the sand, man. It's
That's
beautiful.
right. Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Where all the virgins live.
I love it. I want to know, how did they come up with your nickname, the Hawk?
Oh man, a friend of a schoolmate of mine. His name is Fuertes. He's Hispanic, and he said, "Man, you know what? I'm gonna call you the Hawk because a lot of these guys are chickens and they run from you." And
that's good.
normally, a hawk, whenever a hawk goes into flight, all the chickens will go scattering, running. And that's why he called me the Hawk.
That's perfect. Oh my goodness.
And you know, I tell you what, I want to say something. I'm going to Atlantic City to the Hall of Fame, and that's where I met the real Hawk, Aaron Pryor.
Right, I read the Hawk.
Believe it, and I just wanted to get an opportunity to see him, and I had that opportunity in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
and I spoke to Aaron Pryor, man, and I told him that, you know, my name is Julian Jackson the Hawk.
Right.
You know, I said, I know you are the real Hawk. You are the first Hawk, but I'm the second Hawk, and I'm going to fly high, babe.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. You know, he was the first fight I read. My first world championship fight was Aaron Pryor in Atlantic City when he fought. He fought Miguel Montilla. That was in 1982 when I had my first championship fight. It was an honor to referee.
Wow.
Yeah, the Hawk Pryor. Yeah, sure. And now we're going to be seeing.
I remember when he fought.
Go ahead.
I remember when he fought Alexis Arguello.
Yeah, when he fought Alexis Arguello twice. He lost for Alexis.
Woo, that was a
hell of a fight. Yeah,
a heck of a fight, man.
Yeah, they fought twice. Yeah, two good fights. And, you know, Alex Arguello, may he rest in peace as well, was one of the greatest lightweights of all time. Then he went up.
Oh, man.
When he went up to super lightweight, 140 pounds, that's where Aaron Pryor and him met. And Aaron Pryor was just too quick and too strong for him. Yeah.
Man, but I tell you what, I was a fan of Alexis Arguello.
Yes. Good
and
guy.
I felt that Alexis Arguello was going to knock him out.
Yeah.
And he caught Aaron Pryor with a flush right hand. And I was just amazed that this guy took that punch. I said, what is he?
He took it like he took it like nothing and came right back at him.
I couldn't believe it. Came right back. And that's when I realized, man, wow, this kid is gonna surprise us, and he did.
Exactly.
He beat Alexis Arguello.
Exactly. Well, you know, let me tell you, Julian, it was always an honor working your fight. Now, you have 53 fights, if I'm correct. You had 53 fights. You have 49 knockouts. Am I correct?
Yes.
So
I was always, you know.
You had a knockout.
Believe it or not, Joe. You know, boxing wasn't something that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Boxing wasn't really my heart's desire, but eventually I came to love it. And you know, when I started training.
And what do you want to do before? I mean, what was your other dream before?
Yeah, how did you get into it?
My dream was to track and field. I love to run.
Okay. But you didn't run in the ring.
I wanted to be on the track and field.
But in the ring, you were not a runner in the ring, though.
No. No. I wasn't a runner.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, maybe I could have won a lot of other fights if I was able to use my legs and run a little bit.
Yeah. But you didn't know that part. You didn't know how to be aggressive, and you were aggressive and a good puncher with either hand, the right hand or the left hand. You were good with either one.
I read that Ring Magazine listed him as one of the greatest punchers of all time.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
And you know what? I was really shocked to realize that I had that, that kind of power. I remember my trainer telling me, Willie Wilhelm George told me, he says, look, you don't have to crank up to punch hard or hit hard. All you got to do is throw the punch, and it is going to have an effect because it's natural.
I tell you, I want you fans out there, this kind of show that we have on today, I want you to like, share, and subscribe because we want you viewers out there to see the kind of show that we have. We want to share individuals that we have on, like Julian Jackson, one of the greatest fighters of all time. When I say of all time, I'm really, really serious about what I say all time. Julian Jackson really has, you don't find many middleweight like Julian Jackson. I don't know, but I want to ask Julian, did you ever fight at any other weight class besides when you fight welterweight and then super welterweight and middleweight? What was your weight classes?
Yes, I fought at first. I was a junior middleweight, 154 pounds. And I wanted to, get a higher payday. And Don King told me, well, you might have to go up to middleweight, where you can, get bigger payday. And I decided to go up. I believe if I stayed in the junior middleweight, I probably may have retired a champion.
Okay, so who do you fight as a middleweight that you lost?
And I went up to the middleweight. And my very, as a middleweight, I tell you what, I fought Harold Graham for the middleweight. No, that was the junior middleweight championship.
Yeah, that's one that I did in Spain.
Yeah, and I fought the middleweight, and I forgot. I'm trying to remember exactly who I fought for the middleweight. My first fight as a middleweight.
Yeah.
I think it was somebody from France.
Okay.
And I knocked him out. I can't remember really fully, but I became the middleweight champion of the world, and I reigned there for a while. I became 2 division champion. I wanted to keep the belt, but I couldn't.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, you fans out there watching, the fellow on the show with me today is a great former middleweight champion and super welterweight champion, 154, and it was 160 pounds. Julian, the Hawk Johnson, is the guest on the show today. And not every day we get a champion like Julian on the show. I've had many champions on, but nobody has a knockout ratio. We had the other day, a fighter had a 98% knockout ratio, but Julian Jackson had like a 99% knockout ratio. Julian Jackson been one of the greatest welterweights, super welterweight, and middleweight champions of the world. Julian, you're in the Virgin Islands now, and one day I got to meet you in the Virgin Islands. I went out there with my friend, Dr. Colon, Jose Colon. He says hello to you. He says
you guys
hello.
Came in on a yacht, man.
Yeah, we came in an 82-foot yacht, remember? And,
yeah, man.
And you came with your wife. We had dinner on the yacht there.
Yeah, we had lunch. We had lunch on the yacht, and I'll tell you what, you have been a tremendous referee yourself, and you have done a lot. You have done about over 100 fights.
176 World Championship fights.
Wow, 176 World Championship fights.
176.
And
my first
it was a pleasure for me to be in the ring with you.
I was going to ask you that. What makes him such a great referee to you?
Well,
he was fair. He was always fair.
And firm.
He even came to me and said, you know what? If you don't pick things up, I'm going to have to stop the fight. And you know what? That made me push even more. And I believe it also made me win certain fights. Because you refereed at least how many of my fights you refereed?
I believe it was 2 or 3 of your fights. But but I remember, you were always one of the great ones. When I was always refereeing your fights, Julian, I never took sides. I was always fair with both sides, whether it was you and your opponent. I didn't pick sides, even though I knew you as a fighter, as a champion, but as a referee, you know, I had to always show that I'm neutral on both sides. I never pick any favorites.
Right.
I've always said it could be my brother in there. If he commits a foul, I'll take a point from him. Or if I got to or if I got to stop the fight, I will stop it. Like I was going to stop your fight. You know, but you showed me, you told everybody, you told me, Joe, your eye was completely closed, and you had a detached retina surgery 2 years before. So I was, like I said before, I was concerned, and man, you did.
You were concerned, yeah.
You were with the one point, boom, and you said, Joe, I'm going to take care of it myself. I'm going to stop it myself, and you did.
Yeah.
Julian,
you know,
what
I
did
tell
you say?
When you make...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was wondering, what would you...
I want to
go
say
ahead.
something.
Go ahead.
I'll never forget, okay? Mills Lane. Do you know Mills Lanes, right?
Yeah, Mills Lane. Let's get
he
it
was a
on.
tremendous referee himself.
Let's get it on.
But Mill Lanes, I remember I was fighting against Inchulbeck for the vacant title, the vacant championship, junior middleweight. Mike McCollum gave up the belt because he didn't want to face me again.
Uh-huh.
And I remember, I caught Inchulbeck a body shot, and I heard Mills Lane said, "Good shot."
Oh wow!
Has that ever happened to you?
No. I could never say that. A good referee, I'm not supposed to say that.
I don't know if it was just his reaction. I don't know if it was just by instinct.
Because you know what happened is sometimes
I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you know what happened is that sometimes they hit a body shot, and a lot of people think that it was maybe a low blow. He said no, it was a good shot, meaning it was.
Yeah.
What he means, it was a legal shot.
Right.
It was a good shot. So a referee might say it was a low shot. So, but he said it was a good shot, meaning that it was a legal shot. It was not a low blow. That's That's what he meant. Well,
that could have been it too, right?
Yeah, because Mills was one of the great referees, and he was a judge too. He was a great judge up in Reno, Nevada. A real judge with the black robe. You know, I went to his chambers one day at the courtroom. He was an amazing, nice guy. I really enjoyed spending time with him. And it was Richard Steele, Mills Lane, and myself. The three of us were doing the big fights here in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever live in Vegas at all?
I want to say something about Atlantic City.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Atlantic City was one. Atlantic City was one of my favorite places of fighting because I have family there.
Oh, yeah?
You know, I have family in New York, in Atlantic City, and I always like to go on the boardwalk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And
nice.
every time I fight there, every time I fight in Atlantic City, I knew it was going to be a knockout.
It was a full house. All the family was there supporting you all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I tell you, it was great. You know, Shelly
Yeah, did you have a favorite hand? Like, what would you say was your best punch? Your left hand or your right hand, or they both were the same, or what?
I believe my left hand, my left hook was my best punch.
Yeah.
But a lot of people thought it was my right hand.
Okay.
But normally, my left hook was the most dangerous punch. It was lethal, man.
So you always say the right. You used to say the right one don't get you, the left one will, right?
The left hook will.
Good.
One of them would have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But boxing has been a tremendous, career. You know, for me, it helped me to define myself to a degree. I found God in this search as well, believe it or not. In the boxing arena, God came into my life, changed my life, and made me the man that I am today.
That's beautiful.
And that's why I believe that there's a lot of other young men that are training with me right now in the gym.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I believe boxing somehow has a touch to it, something about boxing that really makes a big difference. It doesn't matter how it seems like, you know, the athlete that you might be in there with. Sometimes I was in there with guys that are really rough, came off the streets, tough, ghetto type mindset. But every time we fought, And in the weigh-in, we want to eat each other up. We want to, dog each other. But every time after that bell, after the last round, if we survive, we will always come together, hug, become best friends.
That's
right.
beautiful. So you've
And I
been
tell you what,
coaching
that's what I
them.
like about boxing.
Mm-hmm. You've been coaching them, right,
It's
since your
amazing.
retirement? Have you been like training and coaching, these guys that are coming up in the ring now? Helping them out?
As a matter of fact, I took a team to Georgia, and we won 3 gold medals and 2 silver.
That's great. Oh, wow. That's
So
fantastic.
I'm still busy. I've never had the opportunity. Since I retired, I never went back into the ring. No matter what type of money they tried to convince me to come back for, I decided that, hey, I'm going to retire, and that's it. And
That's right.
but as a coach, it filled the void.
That's wonderful.
You know what I'm
Julian,
saying? As a coach,
Yeah.
it filled the void.
Good.
Julian, I hear this guy, Jake Paul, Jake Paul, who does all these big fights that he fought Mike Tyson, he fought all these guys. I heard he's calling you out. He said,
Uh-oh.
he said, I want the Hawk. I want Julian Jackson next. He wants to fight you. And there was some talk about it. Well, how much money you think you're going to pay Julian Jackson for this? The most I'm going to pay him is $50 million. And if $50 million to come make a comeback, will you make a comeback for $50 million and fight Jake Paul?
To fight Jake Paul?
Yeah.
I'm 74 years old, man. You know what? I'm 74 years old. If he could come 74 years old in a couple of days, let's get it on.
Oh,
But I
my
know
God.
that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who would you like to see
But
matched up?
Jake Paul has been doing his thing, and he's been bringing excitement to a degree, in the boxing arena back, when he does the exhibitions and all of that
Right.
stuff. And a lot of people somehow seem to be attracted to that, type of boxing. And even though he may not be a full pledge, but he has increased a whole lot. He has learned a lot.
Yes, he has.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, he has to learn a lot.
And I think Mike Tyson himself realized that.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Tyson walked away with about $20 billion for that fight. So I would make a comeback myself. They offered me that kind of money.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, if you're listening, man, come on, let's get it on.
Yeah.
Oh my! So if you were a promoter today, who would you like to see matched up, like Canelo Alvarez or the Charlo brothers? The up and coming, superstars of today. Who would you like to see? Matched
You know
up?
what? I'm glad that Canelo and
Terrence Crawford.
what's his name?
Terrence Crawford.
Crawford got the opportunity. I'm glad that Canelo accepted the fight because this kid,
Terrence Crawford.
man, he's special, man.
Yeah,
Something is going to happen in that fight with Canelo. Canelo is a bigger guy, the stronger guy, but listen to me. Crawford is the smarter guy, and I think in this fight, Canelo is going to be shocked to a point where it might even affect him because of what this kid will be doing in this fight. Okay, I feel him. I felt it. I know Canelo is very confident, but he got to be very careful.
Yes, you're 100% right. And Canelo Alvarez is going to have his hands full. My last fight was 12 years ago. Canelo was champion. He's still champion today. He's won several different divisions. But when he went up to light heavyweight,
Yeah, man, amazing kid, amazing athlete.
Yeah, but when he went up to 175, that's when he got to a little trouble. I think 175 was too much for him.
Right.
168 was okay, and the fans want to see after he fights Terrence Crawford. Fans want to see him and Benavidez fight. Benavidez, the super middleweight champion. People want to see that fight, Canelo and Benavidez. So let's see if that happens. Win or lose with Crawford, the next fight will be with Benavidez. Yeah, they big money fights.
Wow.
Benavidez is a good super middleweight champion. They've been trying to get the fight on with Canelo for a number of years, but Canelo's promoted and people felt other opportunities out there for him. Eventually, the fight will happen. It was like I remember when I refereed Juan Manuel Marquez. He fought Manny Pacquiao 4 times, but therefore 4 times because the first time they fought, Marquez went down 3 times in the first round. I was the referee for that fight. Back in the old days, when you were fighting, if you go down 3 times, the fight was automatically over. The fighter
automatically finished. Yeah.
Yeah. The fight was over by a technical knockout.
But do you believe that Benavidez is going to get a shot with Canelo?
Well, I think Canelo's already signed up with Terence Crawford here September here in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. I think it's September 16th, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, whether he wins or loses, they got to get the fight with Benavidez going because that's the fight that the fans have been begging Canelo to fight Benavidez. And so I think it'll happen. It'll be a big money fight. Whether he beats Terence Crawford or not, he got to fight Benavidez to make people believe that he was the real deal all these years that he's been a champion. He's been a champion for over 10 years.
Wow. Now that's the truth, man.
Yeah.
But again, I just want to make mention that going to Atlantic City is going to. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to bring back a whole lot of memories. I had a lot of memories in Atlantic City, man.
Exactly. Well, September. The good thing about this whole thing is September 26th to the 28th, you and I are both going to be inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame.
For sure, man. I'm looking forward to meet you, man.
I want to raise your hand up in the air again as undisputed champion in Atlantic City. You fans out there watching, please do not forget September 26th to the 28th in Atlantic City. You'll see Julian the Hawk Jackson and many other individuals going to be inducted, and you're going to see myself there. We'll be there to shake hands with you, take photos with you guys. Julian the Hawk Jackson, one of the great ones of all time. And Julian, being a referee, I can say that it was always an honor. When I say people say who's some of the great fighters you referee, you're in that mix. My top 5, I gotta say George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Roberto Duran, Sugar Allende, Julian Jackson. I mean, I did something I could go on and on. Manny Pacquiao, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes. I did them all.
Wow.
I did all the fighters in the last 30, 40 years. I mean, I was involved there with some of the great fighters. But, Julian, but what I can say, that when you got these guys beat is with your personality, the way you are, you carry ways you are with people. You love people. You always care for individuals. You're still sharp. You got 100%.
Right.
You're sharp 100%. You got a beautiful family, your wife, your children, and you're so good with everybody out there. We really feel, that Julian is really one of the great ones out there. He's always been giving so much to the community, so much to fighting. Look at him, he's still in the gym working in the gym with the fighters. I mean, you don't find that every day. He's 74 years young, and he's still active in the gym working with the fighters. But Julian, a couple of words before we go, but don't forget the fans. September 26th to the 28th. On the 28th, you can see the induction. Julian, the Hawk Jackson, going to get inducted, and other great ones, and I'll be there myself. I'll be inducted. It'll be.
We'll be there too. My husband is looking forward to meeting you. He loves you so much and admires you.
Man,
I'm
looking forward
Julian,
to it.
A couple of words. We can't hear you, Julian.
I'm looking forward to it.
We can't hear you, Julian.
I'm not coming up there.
Audio on video.
We
lost you, and we can't hear you.
Atlantic City.
But I can say, Julian, is that we love you as a person, as a fighter, and as an individual. You give somebody, you believe in God. God's been in your corner all these years. You're a very Christian young man with a good heart, and you're always helping out the community. That's why people love you so much, and that's why you're getting inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. You fans out there, please be there September 26th to the 28th in Atlantic City.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Joe, we're so happy to be going to see you get inducted as well. You've been doing so many great things for the whole country. Yesterday, you did a speech at the Italian American Club, which we had the honor of being there with you. And it's always something new and exciting.
I thought your husband wanted to be a speaker. He came there with his cowboy hat. And everybody, who's that cowboy coming in? I said, he left his horse outside.
Oh my God! Yeah. Do you have a picture of that, Rick? I don't know. We might have a picture from
But-
yesterday too.
but,
I don't know. It was like so much going on this
there
week.
we are,
with
there
you.
we are.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was yesterday at the Italian
That
American
was
Club.
beautiful.
And
Yeah.
we had a good time there, and
We sure
a good
did.
crowd, a good turnout.
We had a good crowd. It was a great week. You
Yeah, it
know,
was
we
great.
did the German American Club Tuesday. We did that. We did Lola's on Saturday. It's been like really busy.
We have anything of your music with Lola?
We might have something we can
Anyways,
show real
anyway,
fast.
but-
I don't know. We have so
But
much
Shelly
stuff.
and Wesley perform every Saturday night at Lola's here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's a great show from 6 to 10 p.m. every Saturday night. Here they are.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian Jackson, again, thanks a million for being on our show today. We love you. We'll see you in September in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I raise your hand up in the air again. As the undisputed champion and the new inductee, the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. I'll be there. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.